Hello everybody and welcome back to the Starbirds demo, where we just finished up this lab quest, and we should probably do that. We then have a new supply quest available, and there's this quest, which is to deliver some gold and oxygen. That should just automatically happen at this point, right? Well, we were not delivering to what we needed to previously. I had determined that what we needed to deliver to was, in fact, to this excavation hub, whereas we're currently delivering these resources to a starport at this moment. So this needs to go to the excavation hub. We have a supply quest available, but that's one of those repeatable quests, and I don't think we need to do that right now. So what we need to do is we need to get gold and water over to the, or rather gold and oxygen? Yeah, golden oxygen over to here. Can we run over these pipes? If not, we'll need to reroute them. But we should grab this. No, we can't run over those pipes. Okay, good to know. So we're going to have to reroute these, which means that this is going to have to come back and go out over this way, which means that this one is going to have itself be tightened up a bit, about like that. And I can't grab this one at this point. Ah, there we go. We just have to restart it, essentially. That's fine. So we can bring this up, and that can go up over here, and then this water is going to come out and squeeze in through there and come in like that. Okay, cool. Now we can take this oxygen, and that can come up over to the hub like that. We can take this oxygen as well, and that can just go right up over here. Then we need to get this gold over, and that's going to be much easier. So that we can just run up like this, and then run up something along the lines of that. Okay, so we've just about got all the oxygen that we need there. And that's all the oxygen. So at this point, we can take these back out of here. There we go. And they can just connect over here and start sending the oxygen to our space station. So that looks good. And we'll do the same thing with this once this is done, assuming that we don't need to send additional resources to this excavation hub, which we might have to do. We'll see if that's a thing or not. So we've just about got the gold that we need here. There we go. And I'm just going to run these back over to our starport quick. There we go. Okay, this has been completed. Looking good so far. The next step is to tickle the object with a little radiation. I'm gonna need some uranium. Only problem is, there ain't no uranium on this rock. We'll need to get it from some other asteroid. Okay, to receive resources from another asteroid, you need a landing pad. Okay, and we'll have to research that from the building inventory. So we've got the tech points to do that right now. We'll get going on that. That's going to require 9 oxygen. We're already sending oxygen, so no issue there. And then this is to get 8 uranium, and that'll have to be delivered here. Okay. In the meantime, we can grab ourselves a few more tech points, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, there's our landing pad researched, and we'll now drop that. It has to be in a big crater. Okay, so we're going to have to put it right out over here. And I think we'll have to pipe this up like that, is my suspicion. But we'll see. Okay, so there's that completed. And now we need to go back to the map and find an asteroid with uranium. Yeah. How do we go back to the map again? Ah, this button. Cool. So, this one has uranium. This one has water and an unknown thing. This one has... Is that a watermelon? And 2 unknown things. I don't know what that was. Let's go ahead and go here. This is the uranium that we need. So we'll spend our tech points to discover that. And let's head right on in. Excellent. Okay, so we've got 3 big craters. This is a pretty small rock at this point. We'll go ahead and put our we'll go ahead and put our launch bay or launch pad right here. And then this is uranium. Is that connected? I think it's connected. Okay, cool. So we can have up to 4 uranium extractors here without putting in additional launch pads, right? So we can do one there, and then we can do an extractor about here. That can go about there, and then we can do one additional extractor over here. Yeah, we'll need to change its destination because it's going to the station. That's understood. Okay, back to the map screen we go. And we want to click the uranium icon and drag it to the landing pad input. Right, okay, yep, I gotcha. That makes sense. So now we're sending our uranium over to the landing pad. So if we go in here, we should see the uranium coming down here, and uranium is definitely trickling through this pipe. Excellent. Okay, so we can supply additional water for additional tech points. Why are our credits going up? I'm not sure why we're getting credits right now, but I'm okay with it. So we're going to complete that quest. We're almost there. Pretty sure this is the last thing we need to break the strange object loose. So this is going to be quartz. Okay, wait, what is this quartz resource? Never heard of it. Hover your cursor above Ruth's quest, then click quartz to open the wiki. Oh, okay. We need to produce the quartz ourselves, and we'll need a chemical lab for that. Ah, the watermelon is silicon. Gotcha. So we'll need a chemical lab. We'll go ahead and research that. There we go. And that's absolutely fine. So we're collecting the water that we need right now. This is our module quest here. And what do we want here? Well, we have all of the resources we need for any of these. And they all give the same reward, it looks like. Let's go for solar sails. Why not? That seems fine. So we'll get the gold that we need for that. That's no big deal. But for the quartz, we're going to need to complete this chemical lab. And we can definitely do this. So the chemical lab is currently researching. There's our solar sails completed. Okay, we have another new module quest available. This is going to be silicon, which we don't yet have. We can just get this reactor done. We've got that uranium coming in right now. Although I don't think that uranium is going to the station. We're probably going to want to redirect that. So if we were to then take this over to the station, like that, now we'll get what we need for that reactor. Perfect. Okay, so we have a new supply quest available again, and we'll supply the reactor. Perfect. We can go for engine room, solar sails, or greenhouse. I'm going to go for the greenhouse. Okay, now we need to click on the chemical lab and research it. So let's hop back in here, and this is currently researching, sure. But what do we need to research it? This is indicating that it's half completed. Ah, it's this. So we need that silicon. Yeah, that makes sense. So let's hop back out of here. We need to go to an asteroid with silicon, and that is like this one. So this is really more of a like puzzle game than a strategy game, I think. Interesting. There's not really a way to lose exactly from what I can tell. It's more about figuring out how to use the resources that you have to get what you need. Okay, I can work with that. So we're just going to plop somewhere around here, I think. And we need to get ourselves some silicon output. Okay. So this, I don't know what this is. This is silicon. I don't know what this is either. But I want a little bit of each. So we're going to do one here, and perhaps 2 on silicon. Like that. And then we can just run this in like so. No big deal. But I still don't know what these are exactly. So that should finish up our quest there. We can get that reactor quest completed. We can get our greenhouse module done. We've got a new module available. And let's do engine room. This is copper. And this is aluminum. Okay. Let's get these corridors done. We have a new supply quest available. Let's get more tech points. Absolutely fine. So we need to get this quartz, and that means that we need to get the chemical lab, which is now done. Okay, so we have the chemical lab. According to the wiki, we should combine water and silicon in the chemical lab. I don't believe there's a source of water on this asteroid. So I'm going to hop out to our other asteroid. And I'm going to build our chemical plant here. I think we only need one for now. So I want it to be perhaps about here or so. And then I want to get some water piping over to it. So we have this water right here that we can just kind of yoink. That's connected like that right now. But if we were to grab this pipe here, it doesn't want to let us grab it. This is not how this is supposed to be directed anyway. Can I grab the pipe, please? No. I can grab this one, but that's not helpful. I want to grab this one. I don't believe we need water here. So, I guess we could recycle this. It's not like we need the credits. So we can then just bring in an extractor here to bring in water, and then that water will pipe over to here. Then we need to bring the silicon in. So that needs to come from the landing pad and connect in like this. And I'm going to, if I can, disconnect this, but it doesn't seem to like us disconnecting things. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. So now we need to bring silicon in here. So we go back out to the map and we reroute our silicon to here, but I want to only have it be the silicon. And this is outputting everything to here. I wonder if it will automatically redirect other things. Well, we could actually potentially run it like this. Yes. Now our other things that are not demanded are going to head this way. But this is currently a little bit broken over here because it's got resources that it isn't supposed to have. And I think that's why we can't move this. Actually. Yeah, just take that out and redo this. Hopefully only connecting in what's necessary here. Hopefully. So this is going to output quartz, and that should go like this. Okay. Well, it's definitely doing something. I'm not sure what it's doing with these resources that are not necessary in this pipe. A lot of those resources are going here and being forwarded on to our station, which is absolutely fine. We can get that quest completed anyway. That's fine. Let's grab more tech points here. And we can grab additional tech points as well. We have a new module quest available here. Treasury. Okay, we can definitely work on that, but that's going to require quartz, which our quartz is being consumed elsewhere. But we could do one of these others, and let's do the engine room for now. That will be acquired with things that we already have going to our station. So that seems good. So at this point, that quartz is almost completed. There we go. That is now done. I've never seen birds gather resources so fast. It seems mystery is an excellent motivator. Now, let's take a closer look at this strange object. Hold on to your bird butts. Just gotta lift this thing carefully. Then I can... Huh? Whoa, Captain. You're not gonna believe this, but it's flying. Quick, hitch it to my rover. That'll stop it from floating away. But it's not floating away. It's just floating. Like magic. We have to see what's inside of this rock. It could be like a tiny alien spaceship or something. Excuse me? If we're going to open up this potentially dangerous object, we're going to do it in a controlled lab environment. You heard, Stella. To the lab. Command team only. Oh, and Ensign Yoke, you come too. I don't want you to miss this. okay then. We have the option to go on an expedition or stay here. Well, I think that we will definitely go on an expedition here. There are definitely things that we could do to, like, further advance in this area, but let's see what happens if we go on an expedition. Into the unknown. That's what it's all about. Let's explore this sector and bring home some of the treasures we can find around here. It's an expedition to a bonus sector of Sablana. Replay this level as many times as you like. It will be different every time. Okay, so this is procedurally generated. Interesting. So we have a new quest from the captain, and this is to get iron, carbon, and fertilizer. We don't know how to get fertilizer in particular. It's crafted from the chemical lab from sulfur and hydrocarbon. Okay, and carbon is also crafted from methane and oxygen. Okay, so let's go ahead and enter this asteroid here. That'll be fine. And what we want to do, of course, is we want to just get ourselves a base here somewhere. This asteroid is awkward to rotate. Okay, are these checkpoints? Ice extractor not available in the demo. Okay. We've got a bunch of different categories here, so that's definitely useful. So there's a lot of different places here. Okay. So first thing that we're going to need, we have a new module quest available. We can get gold, water, or methane, and we'll probably work on this gold because I think we've got some gold right here. Yeah, that's gold right there. So I'm going to then route this connection out like that, and we'll start getting some gold output. So that's absolutely fine for now. And then what else do we have here? Well, this is water. We can get some water going in here. And then out over here, this is additional water. This is methane. So we're going to move that in there. We've now got some methane flowing through. And we know that for carbon, we needed methane and oxygen. So oxygen, of course, comes from water. So we can get this water flowing up over here for now. We're going to have that be in the refiner. So we need this refiner to go here, and then this connects into the refiner, and then the refiner is going to go here to produce that oxygen. So that sounds good. Our solar sails are done, and we can continue farming through these however much we want. That's fine. I do think, I mean, water is allegedly being sent to the station. I don't think it actually is right now, though. We're sending oxygen to the station right now. So that's understood. Now, this oxygen is going to need to be used with the methane that we've got right over here in a chemical lab. So we can put a chemical lab in. I'm going to do that, like, we can't build it up here. Okay, so space is at a premium on this asteroid, that's for sure. We can put it down, like, over here where there aren't other locations, right? And then we can run this guy over to here, like that. So there's our methane input, and then we would need a water input. Now, we can definitely put in an extractor out over here, and that would be going over here. And that's now producing us carbon. So then we can take this guy out over this way, like that. And now we're supplying carbon. Fantastic. What else do we have here? Well, we got that completed. This greenhouse, we need water, and this water is being all utilized at this moment. We can put in an additional water extractor here, and that can just go here to pump that out to our station. So now we'll get that water supplied. That looks fantastic. We've got the carbon, in theory, on its way in. And then we still need the iron, and we still need that fertilizer. So hydrocarbons are craftable from carbon and methane, or water and carbon. Okay. So this carbon is going out there right now. And we are going to... Is it actually making it? What are we making here? Hang on. I want to look specifically at what this is currently crafting. Is this something other than what we were expecting it to be? Because we're pumping in methane and we're pumping in water, right? And if we look at this, that is the recipe for carbon, methane, and oxygen. Ah, okay. That's the issue. So in that case, we need to run this to a refiner instead. So we need the refiner to go about here. That is all of our credits right now, by the way. We are currently out of credits, and we don't appear to have access to the rover, which is interesting. Never mind, we do. Here's the rover. So we can get some credits this way. That's absolutely fine. There's a lot of them here. Okay. So we can do something like that. And at this point, where was that refiner at? It's right here. So this refiner is intended to go into the tech lab. And I think it is going into the tech lab. Yeah. We're now, in theory, producing carbon. Yes. There's our carbon receipts. So that looks good. We can definitely grab solar sails here. There's our greenhouse module completed. And we can continue to work on this. This is methane being produced, but I don't believe we are actually exporting any methane at this moment. Correct. We could absolutely put in another extractor over here. We're currently exporting 1, 2, 3, 4 connections. So this is going to be at, I think, yeah, this is going to be a little high up there. We're probably going to need to put in another pad. So we can take this out of here, like that, for now, anyway. And then the idea here would be to put an additional launch pad right here and connect this in like that. Okay, so that seems good. And we're still supplying our carbon, so that looks absolutely fantastic. Now, we still need to supply this fertilizer. For that, we need sulfur and hydrocarbons. So we'll produce that elsewhere, I think. For now, this'll work, and let's head back to the map. We need to find a location that produces sulfur at this point. Okay, this is sulfur down over here. So we'll enter this asteroid, and let's see what we've got going on here. We'll just plop ourselves a launcher right about here. And at this moment, we do not have enough. We don't have enough credits to build anything else here. So we need to get our rover down over here and just start grabbing some of this until we get enough credits, which we have enough now. So that sounds good, and we'll just hop over this way. Perfect. Okay, so hydrocarbons are craftable. Water, carbon, and hydrocarbon. Or water carbon makes hydrocarbon. So this out over here, this is iron, I think, right? Yeah, that's iron. We want to have, not a launch pad, we want to have an extractor out over here, and that extractor is going to go to the launch pad. So that'll give us some amount of iron input. This down over here, or this up over here, we want to definitely get out, and that's fine. Then we're going to need to import, well, we need to get fertilizer, right? So that's going to be sulfur, which we're producing, and then hydrocarbons, which are made in the chemical lab. So we're going to need to have a chemical lab out over here, and that's almost certainly going to need to import some resources. We don't have any water coming in here, and we can bring in carbon that we're already constructing. Okay, so something about like this. Where's that? There it is. Excellent. And we've also got these module quests that we can continue to do. So this is being sent to the station. Let's go ahead and do that. Seems good. Next up, we could definitely do solar sails to get ourselves some income coming in there as well. Okay, so we need to get a chemical lab. That is 200 credits in total. So let's head out over this direction. Yeah, we need 200 credits, and that's going to take us a little bit. Honestly, we'll get it from finishing our quest more quickly than we'll get it from doing this, but it's fine. You can also get tech points this way. So, yeah, resources are very, very infinite. So it's not really possible to lose this game so much as it's possible to, like, build yourself into a corner and have to destroy stuff. So that's fine. So currently we have this methane out over here, right? And we need to get the chemical lab in, but we also need to get a pipe hub. Splits and merges pipes. Interesting. We should research that. We don't have any aluminum coming in right now. But what we really need, of course, is we really need to have a landing pad right here. So that's going to require 50 credits. We will have that, like, right now. Let's just finish up these 2 quests. That'll be absolutely fine. And we'll do this one and this one. We'll get the landing pad in here. There we go. And the landing pad is going to need to connect up over here. So we're going to need to bring in, for fertilizer, we're producing sulfur, but the hydrocarbon is also crafted at a chemical lab. Hang on. So that means that we're going to need 2 chemical labs here. So we'll have a chemical lab go here. And then this is going to need to be inputting either water or methane. We'll probably go with water and carbon, which comes in like that, and then this comes in like that, and then this comes in like that. But now we need to get a source of water and carbon sent over to here. So, to that end, we'll have the carbon get sent over this way. And then we should also have a source of water connecting to that same launch pad. So that would be... Okay, I'm going to change this guy to be out over here like that. And then we can put in another extractor over here, although we're a little bit short on our resources for right now. Apparently this rover doesn't want to be moved. Interesting. Well, we'll have the credits here in a moment for this. So that's fine. We're at 49, and there's 50. So we'll put in water here, and this should be connected here. So that we're outputting water and carbon up over here. That's now being delivered here. And that water plus carbon will be coming in here, and we'll be exporting... Okay, so this is only carbon that we're receiving right now. We should get that water soon. Ish. Any moment now, we should get this water in here, right? I would think. Interesting. Why are these guys stalled? Huh. That's very interesting. I'm not sure why we're not actually doing this. So this is outputting carbon and water. And then over here, presumably because it doesn't have anywhere to put it, would be my guess. So this chemical lab here is supposed to be making hydrocarbons. That's the idea. Inputting water and inputting carbon and outputting hydrocarbons. And then that goes here. And we then input the sulfur and the hydrocarbons and output fertilizer, which then connects to here. That's the idea. Anyway, that doesn't appear to be working, and I'm not sure why. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we'll see if we can troubleshoot what's going on here. We just don't seem to be getting water into this landing pad. So we'll see what's going on with that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Rornaz, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.